Dear students, I welcome you all for this second lecture of Operations Management. My name is Kapil Nahar and I am Assistant Professor at Mewad University. In the last lecture we have discussed about the productivity and what are the various types of productivity, and then we have discussed about how to measure the productivity. So in the last class we have done the calculation on the labor productivity, capital productivity, and then we have solved a numerical also where we have combined labor productivity along with the capital productivity. So in this class we are going to discuss the other types of productivity, in which there is economic productivity. So economic productivity is basically how to calculate economic productivity is GDP per capita. So it's a common measure of economic productivity expressing the total economic output of a country, gross domestic product, divided by its population. So we'll be calculating GDP of a country and we will divide this with the population of that country, and that will give you the GDP per capita, and that is a that shows the how much productivity or how much productive the entire population is. So it reflects the average economic well-being of the population. So the GDP can be defined in two terms. One is the nominal GDP per capita, which is we take the GDP and divide it with the population of that country. Another is GDP at purchasing power parity, triple P per capita. So this is again, so the countries can be ranked based on the GDP at triple P per capita, or they can be ranked as per the nominal GDP per capita. So in this triple P, that is purchasing power parity, it takes into account the relative cost of living also. So instead of focusing only on the exchange rate, that how much is the 1 USD is equal to how much INR or how much Nigerian currency, so it takes into account the relative cost of living in that particular country, and that is what is known as purchasing power parity. So it provides a more accurate picture of the real differences in the income. So let us see the top 6 countries as per the GDP triple P per capita criteria. The data is up to 2022 obviously, and the world GDP triple P per capita is average is $20,000, $20,645. That is the world triple P GDP per capita. In comparison to that, the Luxembourg has 142,214, Singapore has 1,027,565, and Ireland had 126,905. Similarly, Norway, Qatar, UAE. So these are the top 6 countries basically based on the triple P GDP triple P per capita criteria, and you can see, and you can also check about your own country. Like for Nigeria, you can find what is the value of GDP triple P per capita, and you can comment um, in the chat box, like what is the GDP triple P per capita of Nigeria, what is the GDP triple P per capita for India, what is their rank in the total list of countries, what is the GDP nominal per capita for India and Nigeria, what is the rank based on that, how we stand as India and Nigerian, how we stand at the world ranking. So all these things, what you can do is you can just check, and then you can comment below this video in the chat box that in your opinion what is like how much is the difference between India and Nigeria, what could be the possible reason for that difference, where we are exactly in terms of world triple P GDP per capita. So this will show you, and this will make you understand that where the country India or Nigeria stands in the list of countries, where in some countries we have very high GDP per capita. So this shows the economic progress, economic development of those countries, that they have developed in such a way that they have the less population and they have more GDP per capita, and this shows their lifestyles also, and they are now in a developed country. So I have taken the example of top 6. Similarly, you can do this exercise for any country of your choice, and I request all of you to comment that what is the triple P GDP per capita for Nigeria, for India, what's the difference, what is the rank. You all are requested to comment and find your values, reasons for that also. So this is how you measure the economic productivity. Coming to the next method of measurement, organization productivity. So for organization productivity, again, it can be defined based on the revenue per employee. So revenue per employee, this metric shows how efficiently a company generates revenue in relation to its workforce. So suppose a company has 100 employees and it is generating a revenue of let's say $1,000. So basically the revenue divided by the number of employees, so $10 per employee is the revenue per employee, and this shows the productivity of that particular company. Similarly, if another company is having the same 100 employee but their revenue is $2,000, so basically they will be 2,000 divided by 100, so $20 per employee. So the second company is more efficient in generating revenue related to its workforce. So higher revenue per employee often indicates the higher productivity. Similarly, it can be defined in the profit margin also. So in case of profit margins, analyzing profit margins can provide insight into the efficiency of a business. High profit margins relative to cost indicate strong productivity. So if the company has very high profit margins, then also it shows that the company has very strong productivity as compared. The profit margins are very high relative to the cost. So if the cost is 100 rupees and the profit margin is 30%, so let's say the 30% cost margins is a good number, and another company is having the cost 100 rupees and profit margin of 5% only, so they are earning 5 rupees out of 100 rupees. So basically they have less profit margin on the same cost involved and thereby less productivity. So this is just to give you a glimpse that average revenue per employee by sector. So if we talk about the industrial sector, the average revenue per employee is $332 per employee. In case of telecommunication, it is $617. In case of materials, it is $630 per employee. Similarly, in case of financial, it is $847, and likewise. So energy has around 2,000, more than $2,000 per employee. So energy sector is generating more revenue per employee, and there can be various multiple reasons for that also. So this is average revenue per employee by the sector, and you can, by suppose your company is working in the financial sector and it is generating, let's say, $1,000 per revenue per employee, then basically you are doing better than the average and your productivity is good. And if you are doing less than 847, which is the average of the entire financial sector, then basically you have to improve your productivity. So this, by seeing this matrix, you can compare with the others. Another example you can see here, that we have some big giants, Apple, Facebook, Meta, which is now known as Alphabet, HP, Microsoft. Now these companies generate this much revenue per employee. For example, Apple is generating $1,899,080 per employee. So you can see how much productivity, how much efficiency they have in their system, that they are able to generate $1,899,080 per employee. And there is no doubt that the Apple is the most valuable company in the world, and because of the revenue per employee is very high. Similarly for Facebook also, if we compare, it is slightly less than the Apple, but still a significant number, that $1,573,072 per employee they are generating. Now you can compare any organization of your country, any organization of India, and then you just check the revenue per employee data, how much revenue they have generated in that year and how many employees they have in that year, and that will give you a glimpse how they stand against Apple, Facebook, Alphabet, HP, Microsoft, all these giants. So this is how you can compare the various industries, various companies based on the revenue per employee, and this is how you can judge the efficiency or productivity of that particular organization. So coming to the another method of measurement, which is known as benchmarking. So basically what we are doing in the last slide, that if we know that if we are working in a technological sector, or we are a competitor of Apple, then this is the revenue per employee we should be able to generate, so that we can compare with the Apple. And this is what is known as benchmarking. So comparing productivity to industry benchmarks or competitors can provide insights into how an organization or individual is performing relative to others in the same field. So what we are doing, we are comparing financial companies to the financial competitors. We are comparing Apple to IT sector companies or mobile manufacturing companies. So like that, if we know what is the benchmark that is there, based on that also we can compare our organization, and that is known as the benchmarking kind of comparison of the productivity. So when we have to measure the productivity, it's important to consider the specific goals and objectives of the analysis and select the most relevant measurement method. And additionally, it is valuable to combine multiple matrices to get a comprehensive view of productivity, as no single metric can capture all aspects of efficiency and effectiveness. So in this way, what we have to do is, sometimes we have to combine also, like in the last class we have combined the labor and labor productivity and capital productivity. Similarly, we can combine the revenue per employee metrics or GDP per capita and all kinds of matrices together also, depending upon the situation. So that's it from my side for this particular lecture. You are requested to comment the GDP aspect that we have discussed, GDP triple P criteria for India and Nigeria, and then what is the rank at the global level for India and Nigeria, and then we will discuss further in the we'll discuss the various methods in detail in further classes. What are the various factors affecting the productivity in the next lecture basically. So thank you very much. You are requested to ask the question in the chat box and I will try to answer there. Thank you very much. Thank you.